What's going on? With everything that's happening out in Missouri, seems to be a call out of the police to kill citizens. But is that true? So this episode is going to be called You Just Live Here.
Who you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here.
All right, so very interesting quote to begin the show off with. With everything that's going on, like I said, it just seems like there's some kind of send out or some kind of call out to all police to just start killing citizens. Now, my take on the whole thing is that this is something that goes on all the time. As we're watching this right now, this is going on somewhere in the world. So police brutality is not something new. It's just a thing of which one they choose to show you at the time. Me personally, with the things that are going on with this and all the looting and the naming of the cop as one big deal instead of just saying it on the first day and all this other stuff is a distraction to something else. But it's still an issue nonetheless. Police brutality is very, very, very rampant, and it's ridiculous, you know. And it's more ridiculous at the fact that people are being caught, cops are being caught on film, and they're still sliding and getting off or getting administrative leave and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to create a dialogue, especially with this being kind of fresh and new. But what I'm also saying is that there's many angles to this. You know, like that first comment, you know, people aren't pulling out their cameras and filming people do, I shouldn't say that, because you can watch something like World Star and you can see people doing illegal activities with their phones and things like that. But for the most part, there's a code in the street where you don't want to snitch. Snitches getting stitches and thrown into ditches and all this other crap that's going on. So people won't film crimes being committed because they're scared of retaliation. So that is what I believe is what the whole quote in the beginning is all about. But as far as the police brutality aspect of it and the fact that the media chooses which one to put out there and sensationalizes it. And I mean, granted that they're doing looting and stuff that they're doing in Missouri, I'm sure that's not the only place that kind of stuff is going on. I remember hearing just this past Friday, a man was talking about, well, how come all of this shine is coming out on this particular situation, and he knows of a time, or actually not too long ago, of an older woman being attacked by the police. Actually, I don't know if it was her or her grandchild was being attacked, and she herself had to shield her child from being attacked, and she got attacked. AJ has shown me videos where this particular one woman was sitting on her car, and these two cops, one undercover, one with a full-fledged uniform on, they're beating the woman up on police camera. You know, so that's the thing that I'm putting out there. What's your take on it?
Well, you know, this is what I have to say. First and foremost, you know, let it be known, I am a spiritual woman. I am, and I also have 4 boys who are men now, and one of them was a police officer for the San Mateo Police Department. I have another who is coming out of the military, Airborne Ranger, who will probably be going into the police force with Los Angeles County. So I say all this to say this: I support the police. I really do. That's a hard job. It's a hard job. To protect and to serve is an honor. But in saying so, I am disturbed by what I see daily. And as you just said, you know, I truly believe as well that this has been going on. And for whatever reason, it is just coming to surface, the videos that we're seeing on social media. I was probably always somewhat uneasy about what I saw. But given the fact of the recent events, I felt it necessary to speak out and say this. I walk with the Lord, but I am not the Lord. And in saying that, I mean this. I cannot imagine any mother, any grandmother, because I am both those, that would get a door knock at their home or residence and someone is telling them, your child, your baby, has been gunned down and their body is laying in the street. Can't imagine it. So for me, this is a call. This is a call to us as a people, us as a community, and just us as human beings. This isn't a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a Native American thing. It's a human thing. A human thing. We, InkyMann and I, are not unlike a lot of people. We come home, we hear current events, and we sit around and we talk about them, we discuss them. And what got me yesterday stuck in my craw. Whatever happened to the days where police officers used to give a warning shot? Halt, stop, or I will shoot. It just seems as though everything that I'm seeing and I'm hearing, shoot now, ask questions later. My son, as I said before, was a police officer in San Mateo. And he would pick up the phone, call me regularly after he would get off of a shift and say, Mom, I had to stop a car and it was filled with youths, young folks. Never did he make the first option be that of, let me grab my gun, take it out of the holster, and point it at somebody. I don't know when this all began to happen, and as we were saying last night, trying to find the root of where it all was, it took a turn. I seriously believe that it starts at home, and it starts with our community. You have to first show folks that you are to be respected. With everything that I'm seeing today, I see World Star, folks getting on and they're posting fights, and then you see, young ladies twerking or doing. Where's the self-respect? Where's the self-respect? And I think that's where it comes from. You don't see police marching into Jewish communities, Native American communities, any other community except for the African American. And I feel that we have, as a people, kind of disregarded ourselves and made it so that we're not going to be respected because we don't respect ourselves. My grandmother, God rest her soul, always said, love starts at home, meaning respect. In order to get respect, you got to give it. And you got to be endowed to have it. What happened to us just respecting ourselves as people? People. You can't expect not just the police officers, but anybody to walk in the community and regard you anything other than what you're showing them. And if we're showing them that all we want to do is party, twerk, fight one another as a people, hell, we gunning down our own people. We are, look at Chicago.
Putting it on film.
And we're putting it on film.
Yeah.
So if you're showing that we are not to be respected because we don't respect ourselves, what do you want these people to do? Now, in saying that, I'm not dismissing the fact that, we're losing babies. But it starts somewhere. We can't go out here and just be bashing the police and talking crazy to them if we're not respecting ourselves. And the other notion I said, God is still working on me every day. I'm not where I used to be, but I'm certainly not where I want to be. I hold the mothers and grandmothers, because I am a woman, first and foremost. I hold women who have lost their children that they have raised for 18 years, and the next step after high school is college. And instead of preparing for college and enjoying that journey with them, you got to bury your baby.
Mm-hmm.
You are now preparing to bury your baby.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that if God forbid something like that were to happen to me and in my family, that I would be the matriarch, strong, faithful, praying. But I'm going to keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who knows me knows this. I don't care who you are. But if a policeman came to my door and told me my child was gunned down by an officer, all bets are off. Now y'all pray for me. but I'm going to keep it real, and I'm not the only one who thinks this. I'm probably just the bravest one to get on camera today and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You take a life of my child, I'm going to come after you.
Makes sense to me.
And I'm not calling for people to get guns and start arming themselves.
No.
And as soon as you see a police officer, beat the hell out of him
No.
or disregard him. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying there are people out here like me and like you,
Mm-hmm.
that if you harm our children, we're going to have an issue. We are going to have an issue. So I pray and I ask God to allow us as a community to look within first and foremost. But listen, folks, we got some work to do.
A lot of work.
You know that I see on social media, I'm sorry, police officers tasing, and they'll actually slow the video down. Whoever's posting this will slow it down to see the reaction or the fallout of the person that's being tased. And for some, that is actual entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
That's not funny to me.
You know, I once said that YouTube was the worst thing to happen to black people since slavery. I totally believe that. Now, hopefully you have something to say about that, because that'd be great. But really think about that. We're so busy trying to stick out that we use a media like this that is actually showing the world now, the world, not just your neighborhood, the world, how you get down. You have all these challenges coming out. You got music videos with all kinds of craziness in them. You got music lyrics with all kinds of craziness in them. And you know, the next week's show is going to be about the generation gap.
Yeah.
All right, so it's going to cover a little bit more about what it is and where we're going with this. But when you look at it, there's always going to be, well, I remember the time,
right.
This is how it was, this is how it was. And if you really look at it, especially in your own case, be it that you're young or you're old, look at the generation before you. They always said, in my time, this is what we did. Times was nicer. You never hear someone say, wow, this generation is better than the generation I came in. It always gets worse. So where are we going, people? Where are we about to go? I'll tell you where I don't want to be. And I said this to my kids a while back. I don't want to be listening to the radio and they're just straight up saying, yeah, stick it in your ass, stick it in your ass, stick it in your ass. Fuck that bitch in the ass. Fuck.
But we're on that path.
That's where we're at.
We're on that path.
Very close.
We're
But the thing is, you still have those groups that'll try to fight it. You know, you have the channels that'll play it. They'll bleep it out so you can guess. But it's going to get to a point where it's at that level. You know. Now here's a funny twist on that. You look at countries like Japan and things like that. They already have that going on in their media. They already have sex on TV. It's no taboos.
Yeah.
You look in other countries, there's no taboos. And they're not doing the dumb stuff we're doing. So think about this. It's systematic. Everything is getting worse because you get a little bit at a time. It just gradually gets worse. Just gradually gets worse. No one ever says, man, times are getting better. Man, inflation is always something worse. Crimes get worse. They may stop for a minute, but then they get worse. You understand what I'm saying? And that's kind of where we're going with this. But at the same time, it's what I want to point out is, don't think that just this thing that happened in Missouri, and I'm sure a lot of you are kind of naive to this, and maybe some of you are believing what I'm saying, but don't think that that what's going on in Missouri is the only thing that's going on.
Right.
All right? Pay attention. There's a lot more going on to this. And while you guys are at campuses, different government and municipal buildings, posting up, putting hashtags up and all that stuff, you're no different than the hippies in the 60s.
Right.
No different. Just technology makes it different. But you're not making a change by doing any of these stands. All you're doing is kind of making it worse. Take accountability for your community. Take accountability for your people. And it don't have to just be a race. It doesn't have to be just a gender. Just take accountability that you are a part of the human race. We all are. And we have different things that we do. But still in all, this affects everybody.
And you see, great point. Great point. Once again, this is not a race thing for me. We've discussed it. For us, it's not a race thing because bottom line is this. If this can go on in my community, it'll go on in yours. If this is allowed to continue, it'll continue in yours. It's just a matter of time. Self-preservation, dignity, respect, all of those things must be worked on. I find myself saying the same things now that my grandmother was saying, and I thought, when she was saying it, wow, grandma's getting old. But you know what? It makes perfectly good sense. I never thought I would live long enough to see babies shot down.
No.
I never thought I would live long enough to see where people were putting videos up of women fighting. Never thought I'd live long enough to see challenges where they're setting themselves on fire. Who does that? Who does that?
That's crazy.
I mean, where's the regard for just human life? Do we not love ourselves more than that?
Yeah.
Okay, how about a challenge on this? And I'm putting this out here. Do what you do for your community. Be that African American, Native American, white Anglo-Saxon. Go into your community and do your part. Inky and I are empty nesters. I love the opportunity to talk to young people still today. I talk to them just like I talk to my kids. Find something that you love and you want to bring back into your community and do it.
Cookouts, fish fries,
movies in the park. I remember having my kids and have their friends over to the house, and we would put a camera in the backyard. What do they call them now when you see the movies? The projectors, yes, in the backyard. And we had big fun. Let's get back to family values, okay? Once again, this is not to excuse anything that's going on right now. Not at all. But we can spend a whole lot of time moaning and groaning and complaining about what these police officers are doing. But what are you doing? What are you doing?
Let's nip it in the bud.
Stop the madness. Because for me, that's what it is. It's madness. I don't want to see any more videos of people being tased and postings underneath saying, oh, ha, 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 this is funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. I don't want to see any more where there's challenges where it is challenging or taking someone's life. I'm really just speechless. I'm really speechless right now because there's so much going on, and I think if we just come together just as a race of people, period, one person can change the world. Imagine if all of us got on one accord, just on one accord, and did something different. Be blessed and be a blessing.
Here's my challenge, and we're going to end it on this. I challenge you to come up with a challenge for your community.
Yeah.
I challenge you to tell me what it is that you do in your own community, or even if it's just your family, because that's a community within itself. Okay, even if it's with your family, what is it that you do to pass the time that is positive? Let's put more of those videos up. So I'm gonna start. See, as a part, one thing that I don't like is when problems are out there and people complain and then they don't have no solution. They're just complaining
on the negativity.
And it's complaining. Okay.
What are you gonna do?
As quick as you can come up with a challenge that's stupid, I challenge you to do something positive and let me know about it, and I'll continue. And I mean, as long as this show exists, come up with a challenge, and I will put that challenge up and try my best to make that a worldwide challenge of something positive.
Amen.
Be it going to church, be it taking somebody to church, be it having a block party, some kind of community function, something like that, something that you do. And then let's see if other people post videos of themselves doing that. How about that? Inqronicles. That's all I gotta say. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.